Dear students, I think by the grace of God, you all are well. And in this semester, I will take fundamentals of algorithm. And you have already studied what the algorithm is and what the flowchart is. But we will see in detail how to do the problem solving using algorithmic method. And in this fundamentals of algorithm, the unit 1, that is introduction to computer problem solving, and we will see introduction to algorithms, the problem solving aspects, top down design, implementation of algorithm, then the program verification, and the efficiency and analysis of algorithm. And in the unit 2, we will see the fundamentals of algorithm, that is using some problems we will see how to exchange the values of two variables, counting, summation of set of numbers, factorial computation, sine function computation, generation of Fibonacci sequence, reversing the digits of an integer, base conversion, character to number conversion. These programs we will see in algorithmic method. Okay, and the factoring methods. Using factoring method, how we can find out the square root of a number, the smallest divisor of an integer, the GCD, prime number generation, prime factors of an integer, generation of pseudo-random numbers, raising a number to a large power, computing nth Fibonacci number. These all things we will see in the unit 3. And unit 4, that is array techniques, array order reversal, array counting, finding the maximum number in a set, removal of duplicates from an ordered array, partitioning an array, and finding the kth smallest element. Okay, all the array techniques we will learn in the unit 4, and the unit 5 contains merging, sorting, searching methods. There will be like two-way merge, sorting by selection, sorting by exchange, sorting by insertion, sorting by partitioning, linear search, binary search. Okay, so all these things we will learn, but it is algorithmic method of solving the programs, and we will use C type of coding, or we will use the C language for this algorithmic programming method. We will take the reference as C language. So in the beginning, that is introduction, that is fundamentals of algorithmic problem solving. Okay, we can consider algorithms to be procedural solution to problems, as we already know what the algorithm is. Okay, it is a step-by-step method to solve the problems. And in the beginning, we will try to take the number of solutions, and in that the best solutions we will take for the operations or the programming, and that type of method we will see in this algorithmic method. These solutions are not answers, that means it is not a program, but specific instructions for getting answers. Okay, we will take one precise instructions or specific instruction for getting the answers. It is this emphasis on preciously defined constructive procedures that makes computer science distinct from other disciplines. In particular, this distinguishes it from the mathematics, whose practitioners are typically satisfied with just proving the existence of a solution to a problem and possibly investigating the solution's properties. it is somewhat related to mathematics. We will try to find out the best suitable method. If you go on taking the best method, then it may be a time consuming. Instead of that, we will try to take the different methods, but we will try to go for the best method by taking only 30% of it. That means we will not go for the 100% algorithm. That means algorithmic approaches. We will not go for the 100% algorithmic approaches. That means we will not keep on searching for the best algorithm. We will take some algorithmic processes and we will take 3-4 algorithmic methods or algorithmic instructions method, and in that we will try to take the best one. That's why we will say like it will be like not 100%, just a 30%. You have to go for this method and then you have to go on with the programming. So we now see what all sequence of steps will come in the designing and analysis of algorithm. Okay, with figure we will see. The first thing is understanding the problem. You have to understand the problem, what it is. That is the first step. First, when the problem definition is given, try to understand that problem. What all inputs are there? Okay, what all output I have to take? What all variables I have to take? You have to decide on. That is understanding the problem. That is the first step. Then decide on computational means, exact versus approximate solving methods, and algorithm design technique. That is the second step. Decide on computational means. There may be some exact or approximate solving methods, and that you have to think of in the second step. In the third, design an algorithm. Okay, design an algorithm. And then we will go for the proof correctness. Okay, after designing an algorithm, we will check out whether the designed algorithm is correct or not. Okay, we'll try to prove that one. Okay, if the correctness, if it is not correct, again we will go back. Okay, maybe on this step, second step, or maybe on this step, design an algorithm. Okay, if it is not correct or if it is not up to the mark, again we will try to find out again some other methods or computational means. Again we will come to designing an algorithm. Then we will analyze the algorithm. Sometime what happens, we will think that it is correct, but while analyzing the algorithm, again we will find out there are some problems. Again you have to go back. Once again you have to think of computational means, and once again you have to design it. Once again you have to come back. So this is not a single process. It may take so many times you have to go on this method. As I said, like there may be several methods we'll try to find out. In that we'll try to take one, but will not go on sticking on this solving the or analyzing method. Okay, will not go for 100%, just maximum maybe 30 or 40% we will try. Okay, for the better method, and then we will code the algorithm. Okay, this is the algorithm designing and analyzation process. Okay, in that, as I said, there will be a first part, understanding the problem. From a practical perspective, the first thing you need to do before designing an algorithm is to understand completely the problem given. Read the problem's description carefully and ask questions if you have any doubts about the problem. For example, maybe you have given with one problem. Maybe you are making one software for bank. Then there may be so many approaches or there may be so many queries you have to ask with the owner of that program or owner of the bank, okay, or maybe the related staffs of that bank, and that is understanding the problem. So you have got the problem, that is you have to make one software for the bank. Then in which way I have to interpret that thing? Maybe you have to design the algorithm, maybe flowchart or maybe step-by-step methods. Okay, all those things you have to design. Okay, and when you are designing, there may be questions, there may be queries in your mind, and all those things you have to clear off. That is, if you have any doubts about the problem, do a few small examples by hand and think about the special cases and ask questions again if needed. There are few type of problems that arise in computing applications quite often. We review them in the next section. If the problem in question is one of them, you might be able to use a non-algorithm for solving it. Of course, it helps to understand how such an algorithm works and to know its strength and weaknesses, especially if you have to choose among several available algorithms, but often you will not find a readily available algorithm. Okay, this is a problem. Maybe for example, when the problem is given, that problem may be a new one. Okay, in nature. Sometime it may be a already existing one, but sometime it may be a new one. And then as per the situation, you have to design it by analyzing in your own way. And that is important. So all the operations related to algorithm or related to problem, you have to design in a specific way. And we'll have to design your own. The sequence of steps outlined in this section should help you in this exciting but not always easy task. An input to an algorithm specifies an instance of the problem the algorithm solves. Okay, what all inputs you are giving for the algorithm, that may be a sequence or set of sequences, and that we will call it as an instance. Okay, it is very important to specify exactly the set of instances the algorithm needs to handle. Okay, what all sequences are there, that all things you have to take and you have to think on it. For example, maybe to find the greatest of three numbers. In the last sem, we have seen that greatest of three numbers program. And in the greatest of three numbers, there are different variations. Maybe first we will compare one number with another number, again the number with another number. Okay, there may be sequences, and sometime when we are comparing one number with another number, then the second number may be bigger than third, or maybe third number may be bigger than second one. So these type of things we will call it as a instances, sequences. If you fail to do this, your algorithm may work correctly for a majority of inputs but crash on some boundary value. Okay, so if you not think of these type of concepts clearly, then sometime what happens, The software works properly, but at some instance or the some values, it will not work. Okay, that's why algorithmic concept is important. Remember that correct algorithm is not one that works most of the time, but one that works correctly for all legitimate inputs. Remember that correct algorithm is not one that works most of the time, but one that works correctly for all legitimate inputs. Okay, so for all type of input, it has to work. Do not skip on this first step of the algorithmic problem solving process. Otherwise, you will run the risk of unnecessary rework. Okay, sometime what happens? Why to design? Okay, why to think of in these type of methods? Directly we can write program, but if you do it like that way, if the program is too big, if there are 10,000 or lakhs of instructions or thousands of instructions, then rework is very difficult. So that's why if you plan properly, then rework is not necessary. You can reduce the rework. You can reduce the debugging process. Okay, by that we can say time. And as you know, the time is important. Maybe for example, if you have given one problem or one software, there may be a time constraint. Okay, and the time is too important concept in the algorithmic method or maybe in the problem solving. And the second concept is ascertaining the capabilities of the computational device. That is discovering the capabilities of the computational device. Once you completely understand a problem, you need to ascertain, that means discover, the capabilities of the computational device the algorithm is intended for. That means which device we are using, that is also important. So for which device we are designing the algorithm, that also makes the difference. That means when you are solving the problem, you have to ask the question, ask the queries for which type of computer it is and for which type of scenario. Algorithms in use today are still programmed for a computer closely resembling the von Neumann machine, a computer architecture outlined by the prominent Hungarian-American mathematician John von Neumann in collaboration with A. Burks and H. Goldstein in 1946. The essence of this architecture is captured by the so-called random access machine, that is RAM machine. Its central assumption is that instructions are executed one after another, one operation at a time. Accordingly, algorithms designed to be executed on such machines are called sequential algorithm. That means still we are going on the von Neumann concept of algorithm, and what it says, as you already know, that concept says when the instructions are given, that will be stored in the RAM, and those instructions are executed one by one. Taking the instruction from RAM is called fetching, and working on it is called execution. And that method we are following. And accordingly, algorithm is designed on that concept, that is called sequential algorithm. The central assumption of the RAM model does not hold for some newer computer that can execute operations concurrently. Okay, that is in parallel. Okay, concurrent operations one by one. Maybe for example, the best example is ATM. Repeatedly, it is doing the same program. Okay, that is called parallel concurrent operations. Algorithms that take advantage of this capability are called parallel algorithm. Still studying the classic technique for design and analysis of algorithm under the RAM model remains the cornerstone of algorithms for the foreseeable future. Should you worry about the speed and amount of memory of a computer at your disposal if you are designing an algorithm as a scientific exercise? The answer is a qualified number. As you will see in next section, most computer scientists prefer to study algorithm in terms independent of specification parameter for a particular computer. Okay. If you are designing an algorithm as a practical tool, the answer may depend on a problem you need to solve. Even the slow computers of today are almost unimaginably fast. Okay, it's not a 486 or 586. Nowadays, all are good machines. Okay, and with minimum core processor technology. Consequently, in many situations, you need not worry about a computer being too slow for the task. There are important problems, however, that are very complex by their nature, or have to process huge volumes of data or deal with applications where the time is critical. In such situation, it is imperative to be aware of the speed and memory available on a particular computer system. Maybe for example, sometime what happens? When you go to ATM, directly some instructions will come and you'll go on working on it. And when the computer asks the instructions one by one, okay, and if on the backstage, if it works on some operation, it will not make any difference. But computer is idle, that means ATM sits idle to do that work, okay, then the user will feel little bit confused. That means he will think the network is slow. Okay, that type of problem will arise. So that's why while designing algorithm, all these things will makes the difference. All these things we have to think of. Okay, so we will stop here. In the next class, I'll continue with other concepts. Thank you, students. Take care. Be safe at home. God bless you.